us to start by drawing out our pattern. Now it's really best to draw your pattern on pattern cards. So I've converted this to this, so I will show you how it works. Alright, so the whole measurement for this is 7 inches by 14 inches long. So now the back is going to be 7 by 7. So if you check this, this is 7, and then this is also 7. So the back and the front is going to be the same size. So I'm using Marco board for the front. So if you place it like this, you'll see that it's exactly the same size. Now after that, you would mark out 2.5, which is going to be the cover. So just rule out as I read now. So after you mark from here to here will be 7, you rule it from here to here will be 2.5, and then you can leave the rest is going to be the cover, which is 4.35 thereabouts. So now this is how we are going to do it. So I had this place marked. So you mark 0.75. This is 0.75. You mark it there and you do the same for here to 0.75. Now to give us that V shape, where I marked, I hope you can, yeah, you can see what I'm doing. So where I'm marked, I'm going to carry my ruler like this to the end of this one and trace out like this, and I repeat the same for here. So can you see? And then I'll do the same thing for the front too, and after that I'll cut it out with scissors. So I've cut it out, can you see? So what I'm going to do next is I'll just rule out this, like the line where I marked 0.5 inch, 0.75 rather. I'll rule it out here too and cut. So now after I've cut it, now for this part that is rude, you know, we have our back now. This part is going to be the cover now. I'm going to mark 0.5. And also mark 0.5 here. So from the 0.5, I'm going to do like this. Then I'll do the same for here. So can you see? So I'll cut the marked place out. So I'll set it aside, and then I'm going to show you how to cut the handle now. So the handle is going to be 13.5 inches by 2.25. 13.5 by 2.25 in the width. So can you see? So now let me show you how to give it that curve shape. I'm going to pick your pattern card, fold it like this. Make sure they align. And then next you can get any round shape. I'm using this, any round shape, and I have to be sure you can see what I'm doing. And then you curve it like this. Okay, I want it to connect with this place. I want to connect to this end. Perfect. And then I'll cut it. So can you see what it gives us? Then I'll repeat the same thing for here too. So now I'm going to pick Marco, which I want to use for the handle. So I already have that measurement cut out, and then I just want to trace the edges. And then I'll cut it out. Okay, so it gives us this. So we'll set this aside. So like I said, yeah, I just showed you how to do it on this board. For you to do an easy job, it's best to always draft it out in your pattern card. So next time if you have 100 to make, you just place it and then just cut it out. You don't have to be doing this measurement every time. So now we have our back and our flap ready. So set it aside. And this is our handle. I'm making use of Marco. Set it aside. So now to cut the, and also this is the front too, which is the same measurement to the back. Set it aside. So now this is going to be the bottom gusset. So the bottom gusset is measuring 6 by 5 inches. So the 6 is going to be the length and the 5 is the width. So normally it's supposed to be 7, but I'll show you why it is not. So now the side gussets, you need 2 pieces. So this side is measuring side supposed to measure, yeah. So this side is measuring 5 inches by 7 inches. Side now to achieve the type of side we want for our bag. Just what I'm going to do next. The height now, which is 7 inches, I'm going to mark half inches for the width and for the height. So I'll do it like this and also do it like this. So it connects. And then I'll repeat the same thing for this side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect the two lines. So can you see? So now I'm going to cut from here like this. And then this is what we'll have. And then you do the same thing for both sides. Like I said, you should have drawn this on your pattern. I'm just showing you what it is. So now that we've drawn our pattern out, let's now start gumming it on our Ankara fabric. What I'm going to do first is for this handle, I'm going to apply my gum. This is an evo gum. Just apply it on the handle. I'm not applying gum, so I'll pick this handle. So I'll just place it like this. And can you see that I'm making sure that there's extra allowance in the fabric so I can fold it inside, both for the sides and everything. So after, I'll just pick my scissors and then cut it out. Make sure you leave out extra fabric. Like that. And then you want to go to the front and smoothen it to be sure there are no bumps. And then we'll set it aside. So for this all back, we're going to do the same thing. So that's just what we're going to do for all the pattern cards that we have cut out. So I've done, and then I've gummed every part. Can you see? This is the two sides. This is the bottom gusset. This is the front. This is the back and the flap. And then this is the handle. So I also cut out holes that's going to be used to give the handle that body. So this is measuring 10.5 inches. Now there are two categories of these holes. Some can break while some can. So this is the rubber one. So if you want to go for it, I recommend you go for this rubber one that can bend. Now it's this one I was talking about. So always check it out. For example, I said that this can break and then, but this has that rubber feel and rubber effect. So what we'll do next is for all our patterns that we've drawn, we are going to be gumming it. So I'll start with this. I'm just going to apply gum on all the sides. Now I'm not applying the gum round, but just on the sides. So I know the thing with a stick, I'll do it for a few minutes to dry. So while it's drying, I'm doing the same for here. But before I cut this, I want to show you a trick or something you should do. You're going to pick your blade. Now you see this part we wrote for the cover now and the flap. You will just do a tiny little cut. Just something very small. Okay. And then you notch and now notch and fold it like this. Make sure the folding is on the line. Hold your ruler down and just press it in. Wow. So that is the job. And then you do the same thing for here too. Give it a very small cut. Perfect. And then just try and hold it. You have to apply a bit of pressure for this. So that's perfect like that. So while this is drying, I'm going to also apply gum on the sides. And for here, to make it easy, I'll give it a V-shaped cut like this to make the folding easy. Now this fabric is a bit long. So I'm going to apply gum round. This and show you how to do the folding. So by then this one is a bit dry. Then I'll just pull my fabric over it. So can you see how it looks like? So I'm going to mark it a bit. I'm trying to find my use chalk. So I'm going to mark here. I'm going to mark like 1.5. 1.5. So this is 1.5. I'll just mark it here and also do the same for here. Mark 1.5. So what I'll do next to this marking is I'll fold it like this, fold it together, and then take it to the sewing machine, and then I'll sew the handle. I'll sew it straight down like this. But before I do that sewing, I'm going to coat this place with gum and cover it. And you get to see why later, so it doesn't show. So just this upper part is what I'm coating with gum. So having done that, I'll just grab the pieces and cover it like this. So after I've gum it, I'll just trim out the excess and I'll trim it close inside so the edges doesn't show. So the edges doesn't show. Can you see? If you're looking at it from here, it's not showing. Then I'll do the same thing for the side. And so can you see the way it looks outside? So you're just going to go ahead and do the same thing for the other side for the bottom gusset. And just go ahead and fold it in. All right, so I'm done sewing the handle. So I'm going to pass this hose measuring 10.5 inch. I'll just pass it in like this, and I should enter. So the hose is having difficulty entering, so I'll just oil it so it can slide in easily. Then we'll go again. So now what I did here was, after passing this, the hose, as you can see it's firm now, the hose have been passed inside. So I can bend it like this. And then I marked, this is the flap. So don't go and do for the back. This is the flap now. So I marked 2.75. I marked it for both sides. So now on that 2.75 is where I'm going to place this, just like this. Perfect. And it's just like this. So I'm going to sew it round like this. You can gum it down if you want it to be secure, and then I'll sew it like this. So attached to the handle to it, you can see how it looks now.
So what I'm doing next is to apply gum on the flap and also the cover. And I'm going to grab leather. I'm going to use leather to cover this part and not lining. So I'm just going to make sure the leather is covering the flap and the cover. And then when I want to trim it, I'm going to trim it few inches into the back of the bag. So here I'm just trimming the sides of the leather to make sure it aligns with the Ankara fabric. So I'm just going to cut it few inches into the back. So can you see how it looks now? Can you see that it's covering the back a bit? So here I'm just trimming excess leather from.
I'm going to take this to the machine, and like this, I would sew from here to here. Let me pin it. And then when I'm done, pick this other side too. Do it like this. Put it together. And I'm going to sew it from this side to this end. So it's going to look like this. So while I wait for this to dry,
So I'm going to put it together, both the front and the back, so as to determine where the magnet will be for the upper part. So I'm going to press down a bit, and then I know where to put the magnet on the what's it called now, on the leathers. Can you see? So it's gum I used for the leather, so I'll open it up and then apply the magnet. So here the magnet has been applied already, so I just apply gum straight down.
I gum at the edges and apply the liner. So, and you see how I did this, and then I trim there. So it takes the sewing machine and then sew like this. So I've sewn here, you can see, and also this I've joined both sides. Can you see that in the joining I didn't join this side? I just put these two together and I stopped at this opening and sewed, and I did the same thing. So this is going to give us our side and our base. So what you want to do next is place this here, let this match. And then you can hold it down with a binder clip and hold the rest down. I recommend to get a good sewing, you gum it together. So can you see? And it's going to be sewn like this. And then when you reach here too, you do the same thing. Hold it down. So can you see? So when you want to sew now, you are sewing like this, going this way all the way. And then you come here, sew, sew, and you end. So when you are done sewing these two, you do the same thing for the front. You attach it and then our bag is ready. And that's it. It's all done. So all this just remains for me is to trim the thread and the bag is ready.